Good afternoon, I'm TJ Eckert, and welcome to U Central's special broadcast. We'll be covering social media and all its ups and downs with the help of our very own U Central reporters. Thank you for joining us for social media, hashtag the good, the bad, and the ugly. We begin with a topic that has been highly scrutinized lately, especially on Facebook. The spread of fake news has been running rampant, and some are even blaming the results of the election on it. U Central's Jacqueline Chappell has the story.
Millions of people across the country are using Facebook for much more than staying in contact with friends and family. The social media site has quickly become many Americans' main source of news. But not all the stories are credible.
It's all up and down everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Nobody's much doing anything about it. The problem is always the people are gullible and will take their first soundbite, first little headline, and assume it's true.
Amid last month's election results, some are arguing that Facebook had a hand in the way that people voted.
It's highly possible simply because so many people were polarized to start with, had their minds made up, and or were just angry and want to believe anything that they disagree with or that they do agree with.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg denied that fake headlines altered the election, but is looking to combat the issue for the future. To ensure this, Facebook will bar fake news sites from using the system to sell ads, but some say this isn't enough.
Put down the cell phones and pick up newspapers and read articles and then go research online about the stories they just read to find out if it actually is true or if this is something to follow.
Though social media may be easily accessible, the bottom line is this: don't believe everything you read online. In Edmond, Jacqueline Chappell, U Central News.
And now we have Jacqueline here with us to talk to us a little bit more about the issue we're facing with making sure our news sources are credible. Jacqueline, you know, we talked to Dr. Clark on your package, and he was mentioning the role it may have played in the election. What was your opinion on that based on your research that you did?
You know, TJ, that's a really good question. I'm not sure if we'll ever know if social media had an impact on how the election turned out, but it's something we definitely need to look into in the future.
Right. Now, I wonder, what's the easiest way, we heard one of your interviewers in there talking about how to pick apart fake and reliable news sources. So what are some tips you may have to be able to find what is fake, what is real?
The biggest thing is sources. You need to automatically look at everything that's shared. Where did it come from? If it's, you know, something that's, you know, right wing or left wing, I mean, make sure that it's a credible source, and even look for more than one source.
Right.
That's, I think, the biggest thing that people need to look into.
Okay, absolutely. Jacqueline, thank you very much. And now, while we may struggle with not knowing whether or not the news we see is credible, many celebrities are taking to social media to help the lives of others. U Central's Colby Holder dug a little deeper into the positive influences we see.
Favorite social media platform is Facebook.
Snapchat.
Oh, by far Twitter.
I usually utilize Facebook just because it's so accessible.
I follow The Rock and Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I actually follow Kylie Jenner.
I follow the entire Oklahoma City Thunder basketball team.
I couldn't care less about celebrities. I don't know. I just would rather follow someone who's making a difference.
So I set off to find celebrities that are trying to make a difference, and I found the cast of the TV show Supernatural. Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles, and Misha Collins have all utilized social media to raise awareness of mental health issues, to remind fans to always keep fighting, you are not alone, to love yourself first, and family always has your back.
All three of them, and then everybody in the show. It's not just the three main actors. All of them are a family, and all of them want to help and work with everybody, and they are so tight-knit, and they have grown together and grown with the show that it's really cool to see the difference that they want to make in this world.
The cast uses their campaigns to help fund nonprofit organizations that work to make a positive change in the world and give a beacon of hope and a bridge to help those who are suffering from any mental illness, addiction, or a hurting heart. Organizations like Random Acts, To Write Love on Our Arms, and I'm Alive. It just goes to show not everything online ends up being about likes and comments. Sometimes social media is used to make a bigger impact. In Edmond, this is Colby Holder, U Central News.
Thanks, Colby. It's great to see some celebrities using positive influence on social media. Now, with social media at our fingertips, sometimes it can create negative side effects that you may or may not even realize. U Central's Elizabeth Spence got the story.
Dimmer on their phones that is supposed to decrease the amount of insomnia that is created from the brightness of the phones when being used late at night.
I do kind of notice that I feel more awake at night after looking at my phone for a really long period of time. So I think that it's kind of cool that they came up with this way to reduce the insomnia that it creates.
The reason that the brightness creates insomnia is because night is a signal to our bodies that it is time to sleep, but instead of sleeping, we are on social media or other apps. This is training our brains to be awake and alert as soon as they see the backlight on our phones. This is causing less actual sleep because even when we put our phones down, our bodies have to try to figure out how to go from awake and alert to calm and relaxed. Another problem is that the automatic dimmer doesn't work as well on all phones, especially the older versions.
I've heard with the iPhone 5 that you don't get the same results with the dimmer. I think they should kind of find a way to make it implemented on all iPhones because they all have that same thing that makes you stay awake.
If you are noticing that you don't feel as tired at night after checking social media or anything else on your phone, remember to start turning the backlight down. That could solve the sleep problems. Reporting in Edmond, Elizabeth Spence, UCentral News.
Thanks, Elizabeth, for those great tips. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Eric Tapia about the issues we face when we can't pull our phones away even while driving. Stay tuned.
Force.org.
Welcome back. The device that many believe will make your daily routine easier makes the job of officers harder, the cell phone, which tempts drivers to become distracted behind the wheel. Eric Tapia reports on how Edmond police are enforcing the law.
While texting and driving is illegal in the state of Oklahoma and a fine can be induced, one police officer, Sergeant Ham, and I went out yesterday looking for texting and driving offenders, something that we found very common.
I was caught in the moment. I'm real strict with my whole family because I want to set an example for my children. But for me to do this, and I'm on my way to pick up the kids, I'm late. Which is inexcusable.
When there's a black and white police car around where everybody drives exactly how they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So kind of the unmarked car part is we want people to drive that way all the time.
Offenders who wish to text while driving can face up to a $100 ticket. Sergeant James Ham said he wishes that the law was stronger, hoping that one day the law will allow for him to give tickets to those who stall traffic while texting at intersections. Doe said that he did not see the unmarked police car, and it cost him a warning.
I was caught in the moment, and that's what everyone's going to be caught in the moment when they're texting.
Right, one of the biggest crashes we see here in Edmond are rear-end crashes, and that's always a result of following too closely or inattentive driving. Texting and driving is more dangerous than DUI.
The National Transportation Safety Board reports that texting while driving increases your risk of crashing by 26 times. And Edmond police agree that the law is helping, but drivers continue to fall victim to texting.
They know it's illegal, so they don't want to necessarily admit it. So the stats, my opinion is the stats are never going to truly reflect how many texting and driving accidents there truly is. We've written probably a couple hundred. Yeah, we obviously know that a lot of inattentive driving accidents happen as a result of texting and driving. The main thing is just pay attention to your driving.
Reporting in Edmond, this is Eric Tapia with UCentral News.
Thanks, Eric. That's a great inside look into the Edmond Police Department. Now, a ticket isn't the only consequence you have to worry about while texting behind the wheel. According to the CDC, 8 people are killed and 1,161 people are injured in crashes that are reported to involve a distracted driver. We have UCentral's Eric Tapia and Rachel Corbin here to talk about the dangers that texting and driving can entail. Eric?
Thank you, TJ. I'm here with Rachel Corbin, and several weeks ago she was involved in an incident in which a texting and driving driver actually crashed into her. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Rachel, and the incident?
Sure. I was driving on Danforth, and the vehicle in front of me stopped and just about to make a turn. And unfortunately, the driver that was behind me hadn't realized I'd stopped because they were on their cell phone. And so they hit me going about 45 miles an hour.
Oh, wow. And you were not injured, correct?
I wasn't injured, although I was knocked unconscious for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So kind of what